I want you to picture the quiet, sleepy dawn of a small town. The kind where nothing ever seems to happen until suddenly, everything changes. It's September 2012, and a single phone call rips through the calm in Lumberton, North Carolina. A voice, trembling, desperate, reaches out for help, but what happened next still sends chills through everyone who hears it. Marissa Ellington was a 27-year-old nurse living alone on the edge of town. She wasn't the type to just vanish, but when deputies arrived at her house after that frantic 911 call, it was like she evaporated. Her purse and keys were right there on the counter, car in the driveway, front door open wide to the early morning air, but then, in the bedroom, they found something off. A single men's work boot, caked with red clay, not even from her own yard, and a note, so simple it's almost taunting, "Not this time." No one knew what it meant, but everyone felt that chill. A neighbor remembered hearing a vehicle around 4:45 that morning. Not Marissa's car, but something heavier, like an old truck with a deep rumble. Security cameras nearby caught just a blur, a dark pickup truck idling down her road before disappearing into the fog. Driver? Never identified. But honestly, the most haunting clue is that 911 call. When forensics enhanced the audio, they finally heard what everyone missed at first. Marissa's terrified voice, a rough whisper from a man, a heavy thud, and then, almost like a secret, that same man, whispering, 2 days. Detectives never figured out what that meant. 2 days. Was it a countdown, a warning, or just some cruel game? The investigation hit dead ends everywhere. No ransom call, no sign of Marissa. Then, months later, a fisherman pulled a phone from the Lumber River, wrapped in plastic like someone wanted it to stay hidden. It was Marissa's. But on it, only one photo survived, a blurry shot of a rusty green car door. The model, still a mystery. Over a decade has passed. No body, no suspects. Just a boot, a note, some whispers on a call, and that one question that keeps me up at night. If Marissa had 2 days, what happened when time ran out? If you know anything about the disappearance of Marissa Ellington, contact the Robeson County Sheriff's Office, because sometimes the scariest mysteries never really let go. The morning after Marissa vanished, the quiet streets of Lumberton were alive with rumor and fear. Neighbors gathered in hushed clusters, glancing nervously at Marissa's empty house. Janine Porter, who lived just 2 doors down, remembers that morning vividly. "I heard a truck real early, not Marissa's, heavy old, then just silence." Another witness, a local jogger, describes an unsettling moment, catching a glimpse of a shadowy figure near Marissa's driveway. But the details slip away, lost in the mist that blanketed the town. As the sun rose, police officers canvassed the area, knocking on doors and collecting fragments of memory from anyone who might have seen or heard something. But nothing seemed to fit together. With each passing hour, the sense of unease grew. It was as if the whole town was holding its breath, waiting for the next clue, hoping for answers that never came. Detective Carl Henson sits in a dimly lit office, the glow of a tape recorder casting long shadows on the wall. He reads aloud from the official transcript, his voice steady but tense. 911 dispatcher, 911, what's your emergency? Marissa, panicked. Someone's in my house, please. Static crackles followed by an inaudible noise. Then a chilling interruption, an unknown male voice, low and distorted, utters, 2 days. A heavy thud resounds, the line disconnects. The chilling brevity of the call haunts the investigation. Again and again, officers replay it, straining to pick out background sounds. A distant clock, a muffled footstep, anything that might offer a clue. But after the thud, there is only silence. Absolute. The kind that lingers, echoing through the minds of everyone searching for Marissa. Each replay only deepens the mystery, as the investigators are left with more questions than answers. Forensics uncovers unsettling evidence. Muddy footprints leading away from the bedroom window, a torn piece of fabric snagged on the fence, and a strange symbol etched into the dirt. 2 intersecting lines like a countdown. The evidence is baffling, each piece more cryptic than the last. The town's fear deepens, rumors swirl, and the case grows colder. Months later, a letter arrives at the police station. No return address. Inside, a single photograph, the same rusty green car door, but this time, a reflection in the window, a man's face, half hidden in shadow. The case file grows thicker, but answers remain elusive. The final words of the narrator echo, "Some mysteries refuse to be solved. In Lumberton, the whispers never really fade." The investigation takes a turn when a reclusive neighbor, Mr. Avery, comes forward. He claims to have seen a figure lurking near Marissa's house days before the disappearance. He wore a dark jacket, always kept his head down, Avery recalls. Police revisit security footage and spot the same figure in the background, watching from the shadows. The town's anxiety grows as detectives realize the suspect may have been stalking Marissa for weeks. A new transcript emerges, 911 dispatcher. "Did you see his face?" Avery. "No, but he left something behind." Officers find a cigarette butt near Avery's fence. DNA results are pending. The case feels closer to a breakthrough, but the tension only mounts. Forensics finally gets a hit on the cigarette DNA. It matches a drifter with a history of breaking and entering, someone who vanished from the area days after Marissa's disappearance. Detective Henson reads the new transcript. "We have a match. He was here." Officers track the drifter's last known movements, discovering a storage unit rented under a false name. Inside, they find Marissa's missing necklace and a journal filled with cryptic entries. 2 days, she knows, must finish. The evidence is chilling, but Marissa's fate remains uncertain. The investigation has a new direction, but the mystery only deepens. In a stunning twist, a letter arrives at the sheriff's office. The handwriting is shaky, the envelope postmarked from another state. It's from the drifter. Inside, he confesses, yes, he broke into Marissa's house, but he insists he never harmed her. His words are haunting. "She ran. I chased her, but she got away. I heard a truck. Someone else was there." The confession changes everything. Was Marissa taken by a second, unknown figure? The investigation widens, casting a new shadow of uncertainty. The town's fear, which had just begun to fade, returns stronger than ever. The truth, it seems, is still out there, just beyond reach. Months pass in uneasy silence until a hiker stumbles upon a weathered backpack deep in the tangled woods. Inside, Marissa's diary and a battered voice recorder. The diary's final entry is chilling, her handwriting shaky, desperate. "If you find this, I tried to escape, I heard them coming, I'm sorry." Detective Henson presses play. Static crackles, then the sound of hurried footsteps, a breathless whisper, and a sudden, violent struggle. Then, only silence. For some, this final clue brings closure. For others, it's a heartbreak that never heals. Detective Henson quietly closes Marissa's file, but in the hearts of the townsfolk her story echoes on. Some mysteries, even when solved, never truly let go. Just as the town begins to settle, a new voice emerges from the shadows. Local mechanic Evan Price steps forward, claiming he saw something the night Marissa vanished, something he'd kept secret out of fear. His statement sends shockwaves through the investigation. Evan's voice trembles as he recounts that stormy night. He insists he saw a figure, taller, broader than any local, dragging a struggling silhouette toward the old sawmill, not the riverbank as everyone believed. He remembers the glint of a strange pendant around the stranger's neck, a detail never mentioned before. The detective's office reopens, files are pulled from dusty cabinets, and old witnesses are called back for questioning. The townsfolk whisper once again. Some doubt Evan's story, suspecting a bid for attention. Others feel a cold dread. Was the truth buried even deeper than they thought? This new account unravels certainties, casting fresh suspicion and fear. The silence that followed the final clue is shattered. Marissa's story is not finished. And now, the darkness feels closer than ever. But just when the threads of Marissa's case seem frayed beyond repair, a buried document surfaces. Deep in the archives, Detective Henson uncovers a previously undisclosed police transcript, one that never made it into the official files. The transcript details a midnight phone call between two officers on patrol the night Marissa vanished. Their voices, caught on a crackling radio, reveal a chilling exchange. One officer reports seeing a black sedan parked near the old sawmill, the same location Evan Price described. But here's the twist. The officer claims he saw not one, but two figures, both wearing identical pendants, glinting in the storm's lightning. The second figure, smaller and moving with a limp, is described as familiar, maybe local. As the conversation ends, one officer mutters, "Let's keep this between us, no need to stir things up." The file is marked confidential, then forgotten. This revelation upends everything. Was Marissa's disappearance part of a larger secret? Was someone in town involved or protecting the truth all along? The transcript's existence casts doubt on every statement, every alibi, and leaves the community questioning who can truly be trusted. With this new piece of evidence, the mystery only deepens, reminding us that in Lumberton some secrets echo far louder than the silence. But just as the town begins to settle into uneasy acceptance, a new discovery shakes Lumberton to its core. During a routine renovation at the abandoned sawmill, a construction worker's hammer strikes something solid beneath the warped floorboards. Dust swirls in the flashlight's beam as the boards are pried away, revealing a small, rusted tin box, its surface etched with strange markings. Inside, they find a bundle of faded photographs, a silver pendant caked with dried mud, and a torn page from Marissa's journal, her handwriting frantic, as if written in fear. The photographs are the most disturbing blurry snapshots of Marissa, taken from a distance, her face half lit by lightning, always with the same black sedan lurking in the background. The pendant matches those described in the Hidden Transcript, its chain twisted and broken. But it's the journal page that chills the heart. If you find this, I was right. He's not alone. The storm isn't what I should fear. As news of the discovery spreads, panic and suspicion ripple through the town. Old wounds are reopened and every shadow seems to hide a secret. For Detective Henson, the evidence is a cruel reminder. The truth has always been closer than anyone dared to believe. The sawmill, once a forgotten relic, now stands as a silent witness to the darkness beneath Lumberton's surface. The mystery is no longer just about Marissa. It's about the secrets we bury and the terrifying things that claw their way back into the light. Beneath the glare of headlines and the cold logic of investigation, Detective Carl Henson carries a weight no one else can see. Alone in his modest kitchen, he studies the worn case files by the flickering light of a single bulb, his hands trembling ever so slightly. The faces in the photographs haunt him, Marissa's uncertain smile, the fear in her eyes, the shadowy threat lingering at the edge of each frame. Henson's own reflection in the window is tired, lined with sleepless nights and the silent ache of regret. Years ago, his daughter vanished for 3 terrifying hours that felt like a lifetime. Though she was found safe, that memory carved a permanent scar, a relentless empathy for every parent's nightmare. It's what drives him to chase every lead, to pore over every scrap of evidence, no matter how hopeless it feels. He replays Marissa's frantic 911 call, searching for something he missed. Guilt gnaws at him. Had he acted faster, would she still be alive? Or is he just chasing ghosts, trying to atone for mistakes he can never undo? As the storm outside rattles the windows, Henson confides in the only companion left, his old dog Buck. "We're close, boy, I can feel it, but what if the truth is worse than we ever imagined?" His voice cracks, raw with exhaustion and fear. For Henson, this case is more than duty. It's a battle with his own demons, a desperate hope that finding answers for Marissa might bring him a measure of peace. But as the shadows lengthen, he wonders if some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, and if the darkness inside himself is the hardest to face. The camera lingers on Henson's weary eyes, the weight of his burden laid bare before fading to black. As the investigation winds to its inevitable end, threads of truth and rumor weave into something resembling closure, but never quite peace. Detective Henson stands beneath the gray morning sky, the town quiet behind him, the case file finally closed on his desk. The evidence has spoken, confessions have been made, and yet, the answers feel incomplete, stitched together from half-truths and haunted silences. Marissa's family gathers for a small memorial in the park, holding hands as the sun breaks through the clouds. There is comfort in togetherness, in the soft words shared, and the tears quietly shed. Henson watches from a distance, his heart heavy but grateful. He knows he has done all he could, and maybe that's all anyone can ever do. But as the camera drifts over the riverbank, past the fading police tape and the wilted flowers left in Marissa's memory, a shadow lingers at the edge of the frame. Some questions remain unanswered, a strange footprint in the mud, a voice on the tape that still defies identification, a sense that something unseen still watches from the woods. The town moves forward, forever changed, carrying both grief and hope. Detective Henson turns away from the river, the burden a little lighter, but not gone. Closure, he realizes, is not the absence of pain, but the courage to live with it. The screen fades to black, the final echoes of Marissa's story lingering in the silence, reminding us that some mysteries never truly fade, and some whispers never quite vanish. As the years slip by, the story of Marissa Ellington becomes more than a haunting memory. It becomes a lesson etched into the heart of Lumberton. The tragedy unites the town. Neighbors, once strangers, now share watchful glances and gentle words. The fear that once echoed through empty streets is replaced by a quiet strength, and hope blooms with every sunrise. Detective Henson, his badge now resting in a drawer, finds peace in ritual. Each year he returns to the riverbank where Marissa's phone was found, honoring the promise he made to her and to himself. He lays a single white rose by the water, a symbol of remembrance, forgiveness, and the hope that even the darkest mysteries can inspire light in others. As the screen fades to black, these words linger. In memory of Marissa Ellington, her story brought us together, her spirit lives on, in every act of kindness, in every moment of courage and in every heart that chooses hope over fear.